Having a secret identity is maybe the most important part of being a superhero. While there are those who definitely go without, the general rule is that in order to keep you and your loved ones safe, a secret identity is key, no matter what the MCU keeps telling us. For Batman, the importance of concealing his true identity is even greater than most. As Bruce Wayne is such a well-known celebrity in the DC universe, the potential for him to be blackmailed, or killed, should have probably led with that in the first place, by those who know about his nighttime heroics is insanely high. Loads of people have discovered or otherwise figured out Batman's identity in the past, and you really do have to wonder how no one's let the secret out yet. Either way, I'm Ewan, this is What Culture Comics, and here are 10 DC characters who discovered Batman's secret identity. Number 10, every Robin. As should come as a surprise to precisely no one, every individual Robin has deciphered the Dark Knight's secret identity at some point or another in their time as his sidekick. What is interesting, however, is how different the ways in which each Robin ends up finding out about Bruce Wayne. For some like Damian, the process is pretty much hand-fed to them, as Batman's son is told by Talia al Ghul of who exactly his father is, and his subsequent birthright as his heir. On the other end of the spectrum, however, we have Tim Drake, the third Robin, who works out the identities of both Bruce Wayne and the first Robin, Dick Grayson, by recognizing an acrobatics move that Tim remembered Grayson doing in his time as a professional acrobat. While the various Robins learning about their Bat-Dad is never exactly shocking, the different ways they manage to are genuinely effective in showing the different skills, backgrounds, and personalities each boy wonder possesses. Number 9, Lex Luthor. For a man with such considerable ego, intellect, and almost unquenchable curiosity, collecting secret identities is likely to Luthor what collecting Pokemon cards is to us. Only you get the brooding face of Bruce Wayne instead of a nice cutesy Pikachu. After the crime syndicate kidnapped Nightwing and revealed him to be Dick Grayson in the Forever Evil series, the road was paved for Luthor to make the link that Nightwing's incredibly concerned mentor was likely also his adopted father, Bruce Wayne. Luthor eventually uses this knowledge to try and blackmail his way into the Justice League, which goes a pretty decent way to explain why Batman is so profoundly displeased when Luthor eventually joins the team. Number 8, Bane. As a muscle-bound human tank, it's easy to presume that Bane wouldn't be able to figure out Batman's secret identity, as the criminal is often subject to being mischaracterized as not the smartest guy in the villains gallery. I mean, crikey, the first time I saw Bane was in Batman and Robin, where his one line was literally saying, "Bomb," over and over again. And here come the flashbacks. Whatever. The point is that Bane not only possesses an intellect that matches his considerable strength, but one key trait that so many supervillains lack: common sense. In Nightfall, Bane learns Batman's identity by doing something almost every comic fan with common sense has brought up in the past, looking at Wayne's seemingly quite distinctive chiseled jawline and realizing it is exactly the same as that of the superhero. With people going to semi-ridiculous lengths to decipher the identity of the Caped Crusader, it's pleasingly simplistic to have someone just say, "Hey, doesn't that guy look familiar?" and then connect the dots from there, and also break them into really badly. That's gotta hurt. Number 7, all the founding Teen Titans. When you keep in mind how closely the original Teen Titans team worked, and more importantly lived together, the idea of any one of them being able to keep their real identity secret from the squad grows more and more unlikely. This is exactly the case for the team's Robin, Dick Grayson, who would naturally also out his mentor's true identity to the team. Short of outright exiling himself from social interaction with the rest of the Titans, there was no real way for Robin to hide his, and by extension Batman's, true identity. Perhaps more importantly, it serves to show Grayson's commitment to the team, as he shows he doesn't just trust them to save his life, but to also keep his civilian life a secret. However, having your secret identity ruined because your kid wanted his own superhero team has to be a pretty bitter pill for the Dark Knight to swallow, which may also explain his less than cheery encounters with the team itself. Number 6, Riddler. The matter of the Riddler knowing Batman's secret identity is an often changing topic in comics. While Riddler is not consistently characterized as knowing Batman's secret identity, or even being a villain, he is perhaps the one supervillain most likely to learn exactly who the hero is. That said, it's equally interesting to see someone so smart completely unable to work out the Dark Knight's true identity, so it's not the end of the world in the timelines where the Riddler is totally unaware. Arguably, the comic that created these fascinating concepts is Hush, wherein the hyper-intelligent supervillain puts his brain towards discovering Batman's true identity, and hits upon the truth, taunting the detective with his discovery. The comic was iconic enough that many more have taken after it, creating a truly interesting dynamic between the world's greatest detective and the man committed to constantly outdoing him. Number 5. Deathstroke. Deathstroke is one of the few villains who historically, and consistently, knows the identity of the Dark Knight. This theme began as far back as 1992, wherein Slade shows up in the Batman comics at Wayne Manor to ask the man for help. While the exact way Deathstroke uncovered the true face of the Bat is unclear, it's a popular fan theory that he actually found out as a result of the earlier Teen Titans title, The Judas Contract, where he learns the identity of Robin, and presumably uses this knowledge to uncover his mentor's identity. While the DC universe has been retconned several times since this comic was published, Slade is still shown to know Wayne's secret identity as recently as after Rebirth, so it's clear the assassin still knows who exactly is under the bat-shaped mask. Although this time around, it's entirely down to him noticing all the small details that don't quite add up surrounding Bruce Wayne. This eventually reaches its climax when he fights Batman for the custody of Damian Wayne in Deathstroke vs. Batman. And yes, that is my obligatory go read Christopher Priest's Deathstroke line in this voiceover. So go, do it. Once this video's over. It would be pretty awkward if you left right now. Number 4, Zatanna. In one of the more unconventional discoveries of Batman's true identity, Zatanna's initial reason for knowing about Bruce Wayne's secret nightlife manages to be one of the best reasons to ever be retconned, as she is revealed to have been childhood friends with the hero. Not only is it a reasonable way for the magician to have an inkling into his secret identity, it also serves to show us a more casual Batman, as Zatanna is one of presumably very few friends who know both of Wayne's true identities. While this backstory was retconned for a more generalized Batman told the superheroes closest to him explanation, this doesn't overshadow the fascinating dynamic that comes with Batman having a childhood friend who knows his secret identity without also wanting to murder him for it. Number 3, Plastic Man. Of the entire DC superhero cast, the single last person you'd expect to be aware of Batman's secret identity has to be Plastic Man, as the laid-back jokester appears to be pretty dang far down on Batman's most trusted list. However, in the 2001 Justice League of America number 50, this is exactly what Eel O'Brien is added onto. After the Justice League is left divided over the discovery that Batman had detailed plans on how to kill them all, the hero seeks to regain his team's trust by revealing his secret identity to them. While this did involve the whole main team of the Justice League, the most surprising member for this reveal to happen to is without doubt Plastic Man, who is arguably the member of the League that the detective trusted the least. Although O'Brien's relationship with Batman is never precisely smooth, this serves as proof that a level of respect passes between the two. Number 2, Silver St. Cloud. Batman's love interest learning his secret identity is certainly nothing new. Between Talia al Ghul, Catwoman, and even Wonder Woman in some continuities, it's been proven time and time again that the best way of getting under the mask is by getting in the sheets with the world's greatest detective. But the redeeming factors in all these cases lies in the fact all these romances have been with either superheroes or supervillains, meaning that often the case is that these women are trained in tracking people down and espionage, which means it's inevitable that they'd eventually uncover Batman's true identity. In the case of Silver St. Cloud, however, this could not be further from the truth. St. Cloud's only superpower is that she is also a billionaire, and yet in pretty much every comic series where she meets Batman, she manages to uncover his true identity with an almost worrying speed. Is Batman's secret true nemesis the only woman in the known universe who can always spot him from a mile away? Only time will tell. And number 1, the Joker. Given that the whole point of a superhero having a secret identity is supposed to be so their enemies can't track them down, it's more than a little unusual that there are multiple comics wherein the Joker is canonically entirely aware that his arch-enemy is actually Bruce Wayne. While these universes are definitely surprising, they're also pretty logical. After all, aside from leaving a sneaky bomb in the Batcave, why would he care about the comparatively boring and pompous Wayne when he finds his Batman alter ego all the more interesting? For Joker, the real fake identity is Bruce Wayne, and thus way less interesting to the Clown Prince of Crime. As much as it's exciting to watch a hero have to conceal their identity, it's twice as interesting to see the ramifications of their main enemies being completely aware of who they are, especially with a character as unstable and unpredictable as the Joker. Also, that bit in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker where Hamill's Clown Prince says Bruce for the first time.
Bruce.
actual shivers. And that was our list on 10 DC characters who discovered Batman's secret identity. Please go shout out some other names that have done the same down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As always, I've been Ewan. Catch me on Twitter over at EwanRuinsThings, and I'll see you next time. Bye!